Do you wanna do this now, or do you wanna wait until somebody actually
We are live. We did it. We're live.
live?
I don't. I
I
can't
don't
tell.
feel alive. I've felt dead for years, but we are technically live right now. We have just
I'm
gotten
actually gonna move this closer.
bring a little bit more intimate. We gotta be intimate with your what is it? 500 plus subscribers.
I can't tell if anyone's watching or not. I guess. Oh, it says like one people.
One people, yeah, dude.
One people. We're live. Only
You should subscribe if you're watching.
45 minutes late.
Yay! 48 minutes.
48 minutes late.
So
it's Harrison.
happy Halloween.
Harrison's watching. Hi, Harrison.
So we just got done watching.
It's just called Halloween. It's literally just called Halloween.
What was the first one called?
Halloween.
How the fuck did they get away with that? Somebody should sue.
John Carpenter, they stole the title of your movie. I should let my dogs in. We'll let dogs in while we wait for people to show up.
Yeah, we're just fashionably late. So we got 3 people watching.
3 people, nice.
Yeah, all right.
I'm gonna archive this so
people can.
If you're not watching, can people hear us? Harry, can you hear us? Let's see what Harry says.
You're gonna text him right now?
I was gonna wait for him to comment in the chat. Looks like we're working.
Yeah.
So while we're waiting for people to show up, let's talk about how we got here. Because last year, I said there was a Kickstarter for a fan sequel. It seemed less than official, but there were plans for an 8th movie.
8th movie?
9th movie.
That's... You gotta keep this shit straight, Matt. The lore runs deep.
Oh, what was I watching? I don't know. Someone was talking about, like, when they start using subtitles, that's when they're ashamed of how many sequels they've made. It happened in all of these.
Right.
Like, so it was Halloween H2O, and there was Jason Goes to Hell, and there was Freddy's Dead. So they're like, we don't even want to admit how many movies we've made at this point.
Yeah. So this is number 9, right?
This is number 9.
But it's a soft reboot, I want to say.
Yes. Last year I said there was a Kickstarter for a fan-made 9th film that failed, and that probably weren't going to get it.
Mm-hmm.
By the end of that month, they announced this movie. John Carpenter and Jamie Lee Curtis announced this movie, that both of them were going to officially be attached. John Carpenter producing and doing the music, and Jamie Lee Curtis reappearing as Laurie Strode, who's died twice, but
who's counting? It doesn't really matter as long as most of your fan base is too young to remember it, because nobody watches old movies, right?
That was kind of a wild thing about seeing this, like, in theaters, because like, soon enough this will just be part of the Halloween pantheon, and here we are commenting on it right after having seen it in theaters.
Yeah, dude, soon in like 2050 they're gonna be sitting being like, did you remember that one that came out in like 2018 that nobody really remembers? It's like, yeah. It's just gonna be part of it.
Yeah, like 20 years down the road, some jerk off like us, it's just gonna be like, yeah, man, like the first one and the 9th one were the only ones worth watching.
Wow, way to tip your hand, Matt. Like, what the fuck? We haven't even said if it's good or bad yet, and you're saying it's worth watching. That's a little bit too much, in my opinion. You gotta keep your cards close to your chest.
This is yet another timeline, because there was 1, 2, 4, 5, 6 was a timeline. And even then, they retconned the end of 4. By the way, I had to go back and watch the videos we made on these because I straight up don't remember a lot of those movies.
Dude, neither do I. Like, I was wondering how much you expected me to remember from this.
I didn't expect you to remember anything, and luckily, neither did this movie. I guess.
That's fair.
So
I mean, there were a lot of good references, but it was mostly to the first and third one.
Yeah, there was 1, 2, 4, 5, 6 was a timeline, and then 1, 2, 7, 8 was a timeline, and then now 1 and 9 are a timeline, and then there's also 3, which is just its own thing.
Nobody cares about 3.
I liked it.
I fucking loved it. I thought
know
it was
you
better
did.
than the first one.
You said that, and then like we got talking about it, and you're like, "Oh, maybe this isn't better than the first one."
Okay, but it was like the second one was so bad.
The second one was pretty bad.
It was so bad. I was like, we're going straight downhill right after the first one, and then we get to the third one, and I'm like, holy shit!
And we had watched like 4 of the Friday the 13th at that point, and we're like,
I was
this
ready,
is a breath
man.
of fresh air already.
I mean, yeah, it wasn't, but come on, man, just give me this one. See, we got how many people? We got 3 people.
It was 5 a second ago. I don't know if I'm gonna tweet this out.
Now listen, if you stop watching the stream, that's going to be $5 from each one of you that needs to be paid to Matt's Patreon that he's going to set up right now. So I just want y'all to know the consequences of your actions right now. You know, you make a bad decision, you have a bad consequence. So don't leave the stream and you won't have to pay $5.
So there are 4 timelines in this franchise. 5 if you count the Rob Zombie timeline.
Does Rob Zombie count the Rob Zombie timeline? Like, I'm gonna be real for a second. I love Rob Zombie and that remake.
Tell Paul to go fuck himself. Fuck yourself, Paul.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna go fuck myself.
Wait, hold on, back up. Let's finish this first.
Alright.
You can't do that live. We're doing it live. You can't fuck up. You can't say the racist shit. I can't edit that out anymore.
I don't say racist shit.
You're supposed to play along, Paul.
To play along that I'm a racist? Is that how that works?
Yeah.
Damn.
Paul is super racist. He has a t-shirt that says it.
One that I did not buy or ask for, I might add. It was a gift, so I have to keep it.
You can't get rid of it.
Counts.
You can't get rid of it.
No, I'm not gonna get rid of it.
How are you gonna get rid of a shirt that calls you racist?
Listen, Centauri knows that I have that shirt.
Oh yeah, that's why we were late streaming. Someone had to go see their girlfriend at work.
Yeah, whoever that was sounds like a real asshole. Wait, are we allowed to cuss on here?
Fuck no.
Wait, no. You're confusing me. Are we allowed to say the no words?
Which no words? If it starts with F, sure. If it starts with in...
Wait, can I say no?
You can say no. Hey, Paul, are black people productive members of society? I'm sorry, we're so off track.
What the fuck, man? Alright.
So, how about that Halloween movie that we just saw?
Well, you know, I think Rob Zombie tried his best, but, you know, this sequel really just kind of landed flat, in my opinion.
I don't even know if
there was a sequel to the Halloween reboot, right?
Yes. You don't even remember Halloween 2.
Well, good rule of thumb: if it's Halloween 2, it's pretty fucking bad. So
good thing this is just Halloween.
Yeah. So Do you want to just give general thoughts first?
I guess so.
So I liked it.
I liked it pretty well. I thought it was it was maybe a little bit of a mixed bag, but the positives definitely far outweighed the negatives.
Like, it's everything that I wanted in a Halloween movie. I have strange taste in Halloween movies. I want a lot of camp. I want a lot of people to die. I want it to be silly, but also like Michael needs to be scary. It was good. It gave me everything that I wanted.
This is the Halloween sequel I wanted 35 years ago.
Yeah.
Like,
this is
imagine if Halloween 2 was this movie, and then we got like Halloween 3, and then it was just like an anthology from that point on. Like, we didn't have to deal with all the fucking return and curse and revenge of Michael Myers.
Right. This is okay. So they had jokes in this movie, which felt a little awkward. The jokes that were intentional weren't funny.
I don't know. Like, the banter with like the babysitter and the black kid.
That was funny.
That was funny.
But like the
kid was cute. He was funny.
The dad wasn't funny.
No.
And he's like, I got guacamole on my penis. It was like nobody laughed at that.
Did he say that?
Yeah, he said I got guacamole. No, he said I got peanut butter on my penis.
He said I have peanut butter on my fingers, Paul.
No, he said penis the first time. Okay, but what if he said that? It's just
I kind of felt like you were fucking with me.
No, he did say I got peanut butter on my penis. That's what he said. I'm not gaslighting you right now, all right? I'm being 100%.
He like gets his finger caught in the trap, and he's like, mother, and then he doesn't say the F word, and I'm like, oh, somewhere Rob Zombie is sadly weeping.
It was, but like some of the jokes in there that weren't funny were like there's a scene where this like fat dude is trapped, and like he tries to kiss a girl and it doesn't work, and he's just kind of rambling, and like it's awkward humor.
Yeah, and
that wasn't funny.
His death definitely fell into spoilers.
Okay, go ahead.
His death definitely fell into like slasher movie tropey territory where it's like you could get out of this. And
there were a lot of situations where like the people that died didn't have to die. Like, who's the granddaughter? Oh shit! Should we just say like this is a full-on spoiler stream? Like,
do you want? I want to dial it back a little on the spoilers.
Okay.
It was one thing to spoil like 20-year-old movies, but this just came out like today. So let's dial it back on the spoilers.
Yeah, but if you listen to our opinions, you don't have to make your own. So, and that's for free, by the way. You don't have to pay a movie ticket to see that.
I don't know if I'd pay for a ticket to this. Like, if we weren't doing this, this is worth getting when it's like at the Red Box or something. I don't know if it's worth going to see in theaters.
Yeah, I'd say that it's a good movie. If you have friends that like to laugh at slasher movies, they will laugh at this. There's enough silly in there, and I don't know if that silliness is like intentional or not. That's the thing that's kind of messing me up right now. Is like, I don't know if those callbacks are genuine stupidity or if they're trying to keep with the style and it's just not working and they just wind up making the same mistakes that they did in the 70s. I think it was intentional, but I'm not
100%. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it was a fun movie. And I almost would rather have like sat around here watching it with you than at the theater, because we kept whispering back and forth to each other and I felt bad for the other people in the theater.
Yeah. There was a point in the movie. Can I spoil it?
Where the guy gets shot?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so like this guy is like
it's early in the movie.
the new Dr. Loomis, Dr. Toomis, as we like to call him, is like in like a bus that's crashed, and like this kid comes walking
Do you
up.
think he was trying to do like a Donald Pleasance impersonation?
I definitely think so.
It felt like there was some pleasance to his voice.
Honestly, though, he had the way he said evil, evil. Like that is honestly
there was a soundbite from Dr. Loomis, so he's still in the franchise.
yeah, my boy. So he's like this kid like crawls up into the crash bus, and then Dr. Toomis is like, "Don't shoot!" And immediately he just gets shot. And he and I start bursting out laughing, and nobody else. They're just all like deadpan serious, like this man just almost died. How are you gonna disrespect him like that? It's like it's fucking hilarious.
He did survive.
He survived, but like it was funny. I don't care. What? Oh yeah, Dr. Toomis was really. I don't know. I liked it, but mostly because this movie very much stayed in the formula of Halloween. It didn't venture too much outside of what the original movies did.
Yeah, it did it well enough though.
Yeah,
This is the kind of thing I wanted from a Halloween sequel. There's a consistent pace, a lot of kills.
mhm.
Some of them are very bloody. A lot of fun.
Yeah. We did over or under, what was it, 5 or 10?
5, which is the body count of the first film.
Right. And so it definitely beat 5.
It was 16.
Did you keep count?
Yes.
Damn. Okay, 16.
It was 16 by Michael.
Like
That's not counting other characters.
I was worried at the beginning because we only met a few characters, and then it started introducing everybody else who you could tell is like, all right, these guys are gonna die.
Like, it's got a consistent pace, and Michael is really a presence in this movie in a way he hasn't been since Halloween.
Yeah, it's not silly. Like when I said that there were jokes in the movie, they don't make Michael out to be like this bumbling idiot.
Yeah,
He's still a force of nature. You can't just kill him. Like it's what Michael is. Like he's unexplained. Maybe it's like you don't know how he keeps going, but he just keeps coming after you, and you don't have any answers. You just know that he's gonna fuck your shit if he finds you.
he is the boogeyman.
Yeah,
and
like that's why Michael is so great.
He kind of hasn't been that since the first Halloween. Like there aren't really any other Halloween movies where he is this mysterious force.
Maybe the second one where he gets exploded.
But even that one, like, I was just watching the video we did about it recently, and we talked about, like, how much damage he takes in that movie.
Yeah.
And it's, like, kind of, how does one person, because he's just supposed to be a guy.
Yeah.
And there's a limited amount of damage he can take, and you're just like, okay, well, it's because he's this villain person. But at some point you go, no, that guy's dead. Like, it's just a human. He doesn't have any superpowers. He's dead.
Well, I think at this point in the series, it's kind of implied that he has some sort of power. Like, there's this point, very beginning of the movie, so I don't feel bad spoiling it. Like, this reporter guy does a thing, and all of the other inmates are freaking out about him doing the thing. Like, a dog starts barking, the other inmates around Michael start freaking the fuck out, and Michael's still just kind of sitting there. That's probably... I think the movie was implying that he has, like, some sort of power or something.
Yeah, it was a really effective scene. It just, like, Michael was giving off this really negative energy, and everyone else was losing their shit about it.
And it was really effective because you could tell, like, he's still just as dangerous as the day he went in. And that was a great scene. And there's something different about Michael. Like, he doesn't even talk as a kid. We never see him talk once in the series. And so for all we know, he's not just a guy. He could be. He could not be. Who knows? And so I think that at this point in the series, I think everybody should have just come to accept that no matter what you do to him, he's not coming back. Like, well, he's going to come back.
Yeah.
That's I don't know. That's what I think.
See, the one other thing I really liked about this, you can click not now.
Oh, that's not what I was gonna do, but I'll do that.
That doesn't work.
White Wolf, I'm lucky that I can even remember 20% of this Pantheon. Dude, fucking me too. I'm gonna be honest with you. Just,
Wild. So, I'm gonna move this again. So professional. The one thing I really liked about this, like the pacing and the Michael, and I think it was an excellent conclusion to the Laurie Michael dynamic, far better than they had in either of the other timelines.
right.
Because
Should we talk about that?
maybe not like try to pull back from spoilers, but yeah, it was like because in the 456 timeline she dies off screen, not even Michael's fault, and
Yeah.
then in Resurrection she like goes to make sure it's really him and he stabs her and it's not important to the rest of the movie. It was just tying up a loose end from part 7.
Right. And so in this one, she doesn't just get a cameo, all right? Like this is
No, she's the
definitely
main
about
character.
her.
This is Laurie's movie.
And so like you see the effect of all the years of like what all these killings Michael has done, like what effect it's had on her. Which is really it's good. Like she lives out in the woods by herself. She got a shit ton of guns, and she's like, she is paranoid as hell. And it's great because it feels real. It feels exactly like what somebody in her position would be like. And it's not just like, oh, she's a crazy old lady. Everybody else thinks that she is, but like as the audience, we know like what's about to happen and that she is like she's not just crazy.
It reminded me a bit of Sarah Connor in Terminator 2.
Yeah.
Um,
It's like it's sort of like this kind of dynamic that they create where the audience and the main character know something that the rest of the characters don't, and so it helps you identify more with the main character. That like everybody else thinks that Laurie is crazy. Her own daughter, her granddaughter, like, and she's definitely emotionally traumatized, but she is justified in having that.
and I like the dynamic. There are a lot of shots from the first movie that are recreated with Michael and Laurie in different positions.
Right, yeah, like there's a scene when Michael gets out and he starts doing his thing. Like he goes upstairs and he's like about to stab someone. And like it's exactly like it's exactly like that first scene and it's following him. And I think they even do do they do the through the mask shot at all?
I don't think they did, but they did have a really long one shot.
Yeah.
Right after he gets out.
And there was one where it was a role reversal with Laurie.
Well, there's a lot of that, like because even at the beginning, there's the scene where her granddaughter looks out the window and she's standing across the street.
That was
the same
funny.
way Michael did. We were stifling laughter, but it's like
it ties like it looks like she was T-posing, which is an absolute meme. Like it looked like she was just standing there, like. But it was a good.
It tied into the themes of the film, like Laurie and Michael
have this relationship, even though they haven't seen each other in years, like
40 years.
40 years, according to the timeline of the movie. They haven't seen each other in 40 years, which is pretty. I don't know. You kind of get the sense that like they're both like dogs on two sides of a fence, where they both just want to get at each other, and then the climax of the movie is where that happens.
Yeah, and I really liked that. We finally got that Laurie Michael face off.
It was great. I love that final scene. That final showdown was awesome.
Yes,
and I think that like All right, so if you can find an illegal rip of this movie, just skip to that part of the movie and then just watch that. Like, there's other good shit in the movie, but like that's honestly the best part of the movie.
It is. I do feel like a little bit has been lost by resetting the timeline all the way back to 1978.
Yeah,
Because you have to have like those consistent like Michael is scary partially because of the things he did back in the day, but it's that he keeps getting out and he keeps doing it over and over again.
right. I think you at least need to include the second one. Even though it was so bad and boring, I think that it adds a lot to like how unstoppable he is. And he keeps getting out. Like he is coming for you.
Yeah,
and that
like,
helps to justify Laurie a lot.
Like when this movie starts, he's killed like 6 people.
That's it.
And he's been in jail for 40 years. So I do think we lost a little bit by having this 40-year gap where he's not doing. That's why I said I wanted this to be, the Halloween movie that came out in 1980.
Right. Yeah, I would agree with that. But like 40 years might have been a bit too much.
Yeah.
Everybody or Michael and Laurie are both older in this movie too. But you could have fooled me. Like the action that they have them doing in this movie, it's fucking ridiculous. I'm not even gonna lie. Like age has not slowed Michael down one bit. I want to know what moisturizer he's using because I'm gonna fucking need some when I'm at that age. And it's
called blood.
Huh. Huh. Not where I thought you were gonna go with that. To be honest. But it was really good. That it would have been very easy for them to be like geriatric Michael, but no, it was he still felt like a very real presence in the movie. Oh, there were some silly deaths. I don't know what else. What else should we talk about?
This franchise has had movies in the 70s, 80s, 90s, aughts, and 2010s.
Yeah,
that's 5 decades. The only other franchises that have really pulled that off. Bond has been around since the 60s, but it's changed a lot.
Star Wars.
So Star Wars, Alien, and Halloween, I think, are the only 3. At least the only like mainstream 3.
Doctor Who.
Well, that's some TV show. That hardly counts.
Dude, if you're not careful, The Simpsons are going to be like that here in a few years. So unprofessional. Like, holy... You guys see what I have to work with?
Come on, Harrison. I know you're watching. Freaking texting me. You're probably getting them too. It's the group chat. I don't know. Do you have anything else to say about this movie?
Let's see. I do. Laurie's. Okay, so one thing I wish they would have explored a little bit more is Laurie's relationship with her granddaughter. So this movie has 3 generations in it, right? It's got the
every time Laurie respawns, she has a new kid.
Yeah,
but
so she's got her daughter and her granddaughter with her, and like her daughter already hates her because she had to grow up in this environment where Laurie was just paranoid and shit all the time.
I feel like that was a little underdeveloped.
I thought it was the right amount.
I don't know. Well, there's like the scene where like Laurie just turns to her and is like, "Oh, I was wrong for raising you the way I did," and it's like that came out of nowhere. I don't know.
No, it didn't. Like they had a scene where like the daughter was going all like, "Oh, dude, I got the hell out of there when I could. I'm so glad I got out of that environment. I was taught how to fire a gun at 8. I was taught like all this martial arts. Like I wish they would have gone more into the abusive side of it. Like,
yeah, Laurie doesn't seem all that remorseful about doing that.
Yeah,
maybe a little, but It feels like maybe there was a little more to that.
If that apology had come after after the climax,
Yes.
then that would have really helped. But as it stands, I think that was. I think on the daughter side, it was raised pretty effectively. The granddaughter, why did she need to be in this movie? Like she had like 5 scenes. I'm gonna be real. Her only point in this movie was to be a damsel in distress.
Yeah, I guess you got a point there. I think it was to kind of move us into like the teenagers,
Yeah.
because that's always Michael's target.
Oh, let's talk about the fact that it's got female characters in it, which is, they didn't play it up too much. Like you would think, like all 3 of the main characters are female. It's Lori, her daughter, and then the granddaughter, and you'd think like they'd be really playing it up like they did with Ghostbusters. And from what I could see in the advertisements, that wasn't the way it was at all. And these were really well done characters.
Yeah. The only thing they really pushed in the advertising was Lori. And
But-
that's fair enough. It's her movie.
It also, she's had a connection to the franchise since its inception, so it makes sense. You're not like writing a female character for the sake of them being female, and you're writing good characters, and it was good. I that was just a minor point that I noticed at the end of the film. I was like, hey, they didn't make a huge fuss out of this. That was really good, and y'all did a good job with the characters. All of them felt believable. There weren't a whole lot of things that were contrived, although a couple of deaths felt pretty forced.
Yeah. There were a few deaths. It was like,
None of the plot developments really felt forced. It's Halloween, so you're going to have Chekhov's gun in pretty much everything. But, like, there were a few red herrings in there. Like, there's this one guy that had, like, there was a joke about him having to use chapstick. And I turned him out and it was like, dead ass, I think he's going to have a chapstick-related death. I don't care how it happens, but I think it's going to happen. Because in these movies, you know how it goes. Like, they mention one character trait about somebody, and that's how they die. For that sweet, sweet irony. And that's not how it happened.
Freddy Krueger shows up and is just like, hey, kid, I hope they bring flowers at your funeral. How about 2 lips? Rips his lips off.
That would have been fucking great.
That's what Freddy would have done.
Oh, I want
just
that
like
so
arbitrarily insert Freddy into this movie just for that.
I would have loved that. I do want to say, like, none of the character developments felt very contrived. There was one where, wait, did the boyfriend die?
No, he just kind of disappeared.
Yeah, he like cheats on his girlfriend and then he just kind of leaves.
That felt a little out of place.
Honestly, though, well, you gotta get the granddaughter going to the house. That was definitely a plot-driven move.
Yeah. And him, like, throwing her
the phone
in
in the
a
pudding. Yeah, he wasn't a very good character. Honestly, neither was the dad.
No.
Like, the dad just taught, he dropped all the curses in the movie. Like, he said fuck, he said shit, he said everything you can say for an R rating. And then he just dies. Like is that going to be a major spoiler if I say that he dies?
Maybe a little bit. You didn't hear that.
Hey, just cut it. Just put it in post. Take it out in post.
That is kind of one thing I miss. A lot of the better jokes from those videos are stuff I inserted later.
Yeah. I don't know. You can always do that later. We got 2 people watching. So,
I think it's more. It keeps, but I would not guess it's any more than 5.
No, it's definitely 2. No, it's my goal to push you out of frame every time I go up to the camera.
I will. The one thing I did want to compliment was the very opening, because like the opening scene's kind of intense, and then it goes to the credits and it's just this like smashed pumpkin. I'm like,
oh,
that's good symbolism, and then it like
regrows back into like.
It's clear they like filmed it rotting and then played it in reverse.
Yeah, and then it was like, hey, look, the nose is a knife because.
I mean, that's how it looked in the first film.
Did it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. I didn't notice.
Maybe it was supposed to look like a knife there too. I don't know.
Yeah. Symbolism.
Overall, it's like the second best Michael movie.
Really?
Yeah, after the first one.
Not number 3?
Well, that wasn't a Michael movie.
Okay. I can go with that.
I would probably rank it Halloween, Season of the Witch, this Halloween.
I would too.
Halloween 18.
It has some problems, but you know, so does the original.
Halloween H40.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Most of the problems I can kind of like. Yeah, but they probably would have done that in the original anyway.
Yeah, and they had a lot of mirroring with the original. That wasn't too in your face. It was mostly camera work. It wasn't like a prop, right?
Yeah.
Like in the original series, how they would have done it is like they're like Michael's, lurking around and shit, and then on the TV is playing one of the previous movies, usually number 3. But in here, it wasn't anything like that. It was the camera work. Like there's this scene where the characters are walking down the street and talking, but it's filmed exactly the same way as the original Halloween movie had it, and it's like they're walking on the same side of the street. They've got the same like it's the same everything. It's really that level of attention to detail was really nice to see.
There were like 1 or 2 jump scares that I thought were like,
yeah,
because it's Blumhouse and Blumhouse just shoves jump scares in unnecessarily.
Yeah, but honestly, you could see them coming.
Yeah, most of the time.
Like it wasn't too bad. But I do want to say though, like in that climax point, it wasn't full of a whole lot. It just kind of let the tension build.
Mm-hmm.
Like there wasn't scary music that played. It was silent. It was really good restraint on that end.
Yeah.
Like I'm not joking. I really like the climax of this movie. And then, yeah, there was like there were like a couple of silver shamrock masks in there, which is from episode 3, Revenge of the Sith.
Yes, Halloween episode 3.
The one where Michael turns Anakin into a serial killer that kills all the kids.
Mm-hmm.
But not just the men. The women and the children too.
Michael is an ethical killer, though. He doesn't kill the baby.
He does kill the 7-year-old though.
That kid was probably at least 12.
What happened to the black kid? Did he get away?
Black kid got away, I think.
Okay. Yeah, he was.
If he got killed, they didn't show it.
Damn, he was a token. He was such a token. I just realized that. Holy shit!
There was a shot in the movie where, like, I guess it was that kid's parents, like, going out and getting in the car, and then, like, it turns back around to Michael just staring at them, and I lean over to you and I'm like, black people in my neighborhood?
There was this scene where they're all out at dinner, and I swear it looks like a fucking Chili's commercial.
Oh my god. No, yeah, the dinner scene was kind of ridiculous.
There was only white people. They were sitting around laughing every 2 seconds, and then Lori comes in and fucking crashes the party, with her casual alcoholism, and
which only gets referenced in that scene.
Yeah,
it feels like maybe a callback to H2O.
You gotta. I don't know.
She was an alcoholic in H2O.
Okay. Well,
There was like the scene where she was like out to lunch with the guy and she's like sipping the wine and he gets up to go to the bathroom and she just chugs it and like get a little more and then fill it back up so it looks like she hasn't drank an entire glass.
or maybe she just wants more.
Is Jamie Lee Curtis an alcoholic? I feel like that was like a thing that she was like an alcoholic and she got over it.
That might be something.
She's been married to
wanna
Christopher Guest for like 30 years.
She what?
She's been married to Christopher Guest for like 30 years.
Dude, that's rare in Hollywood. Good for her. What else? Yeah, no, the fucking dinner scene was just like white people.
Yeah, there's some ridiculous moments. Overall, I'd call this one like a wait till it's on like DVD, Blu-ray, and
Yeah,
go and watch
honestly,
it.
it's not bad.
It's not
You'll
bad.
have a good time.
Yeah,
Maybe
I think
don't-
it's probably better with like people in a controlled setting where you can all make fun of it.
I'm gonna say though, like if you don't have friends with you that like to laugh at movies, I found this out recently. Not everybody likes to laugh at bad movies. This is a thing I'm learning for the first time.
Mm.
And so if you don't have friends with you that like to laugh at things that are a little bit ridiculous in a movie, it's gonna be pretty awkward when you're sitting there laughing your ass off and you're the only one. So
It was a pretty empty theater, and to be fair, they had us in like the biggest theater,
yeah,
and there was like
they were expecting everybody to come.
yeah, like if they'd put us in like one of the regular theaters, we might have filled like half of it, but they had us in the huge.
Everybody had enough space.
Yeah.
What else, man?
Any closing thoughts?
Been I like it.
About 45 minutes, I think we'll call it.
We've been going 45 minutes.
42:02.
Damn. Yeah, no. I liked it. It was a good movie, and as per your request, Harrison, I am now going to go fuck myself. So, Matt, I will leave it to you to use your closing remarks while I go finger myself with a dildo.
I thought it was okay. We'll see you guys again if there's another one of these Halloween Friday. I really hope this doesn't lead to like more. I hope this doesn't lead to more slasher sequels coming out, like the success of this movie. Because they did a good job with it. No one else will. All the rest of them will be trash. But yeah, if there are more Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street's, Halloweens, we'll see you then. Harrison says at least Michael isn't racist.